We bout to blow explosive. We bout to blow explosive. Been making bad decisions. Empty bottles on the floor, yeah. Hella obsessed with winning. I be grinding on the low, yeah. Never losing.
Anyway, so let's just continue out here. We're still struggling to eat this food because we need tools. And we're doing this shit raw, my nigga.
Oh my gosh.
And it's a little bit of a war.
I've literally never eaten into that looks exactly like how it looks when it's alive. You know what I mean?
Like if there was an entire pig just sitting here. And you'd be like, whoa.
Yo, guys. That's an okak. I can't. It's violent.
It's a little bit hard, so every time I laugh, it's like that sauce hits the back of your throat and it says, what's up?
And this is really good though.
It is.
So who's asking?
Okay, it's mine. No.
What's you?
Okay, yeah, it is me. And this is actually a very common question. I'm sure people ask you as well. And people want to know what you do when your creativity isn't flowing. You know, it's not flowing as much, and when you have a writer's block, especially. So, what are some of your techniques, if you have any?
Usually,
overcoming?
When I have writer's block, it's because I'm exhausted. So I would just say rest, because it's literally your mind going, I can't function. I can't do this particular thing right now. And for me, rest usually works. And sometimes it's immediate. You know, if I have a submission for tomorrow and I'm trying to get it out now, and I apply so much pressure on like thinking it up and conceptualizing it and like getting the idea, like I'm applying pressure on myself like that, my mind just goes, I can't do this. So it's as quick as a nap sometimes. And sometimes it's honestly just like taking a break from that particular project. And another thing that I do is I watch a lot of content that inspires me. And by inspires me, I mean like content that I enjoy. So I watch a lot of The Office if I have to watch, like if I have to write something comedic, like something along those lines. And I get inspired by that content just by sitting there and kind of just taking it in and just like watching something else.
Office, gang.
Gang.
That's the reason I let her into my home, because I knew she loved The Office.
Oh my gosh.
So respect is respect.
Actually, if you don't watch The Office,
just in fact, log out.
Please just go.
Delete your YouTube.
Go subscribe and then leave.
Yeah.
But yeah.
First before you leave, please.
And then get out.
And then get out of my house.
Almost swore. On your channel. Almost get the.
Man, my father here. Fuck, motherfucker, them shit.
Yeah.
Dick, what?
Okay.
Motherfucker, them shit. Hey, I'm lost here.
I'll be telling my relatives not to watch this particular episode. So yeah, I think I tend to just consume content and then kind of let that influence how I produce content if I feel like I'm stuck on a particular project. And also working on something else kind of helps as well. Does that make sense? Like if you have to like do one particular thing and you keep focusing on that and you can't, like switching off or switching your focus could help with that as well.
I definitely stop. I don't like to force things, but when you're putting pen to paper and the idea stops or it won't come out, then that's it. I usually just switch off. But then I have to watch how you switch off sometimes, because there is a air of laziness if you always blame that you're writer's block, because you can just be saying, hey, writer's block, yes. I'm in writer's block, fun.
I need to rest for my work.
Yeah, you know, and then it's like, okay, buddy, okay. At some point you have to be honest and say, I'm actually not applying myself the right way. So that sometimes you don't think an idea through. And how I know is that I'm not, because I mean, look, I'm just gonna keep you guys with you. I'm dope, okay? So I do dope shit. Wendy's dope and she does dope shit. So when the shit that I'm doing doesn't feel dope to me, I know I'm making a mistake. You know what I'm saying? I know when the idea is comfortable and it sits with me, I know it's gold. I'm like, this shit is going to work.
It's gonna
I've
be
thought it through
fire.
From start to finish. I know what the middle is like. I know in my sleep I can write this script.
Yep.
Funny enough, we were trying to figure out an idea for what we just shot with Wendy, which you guys will see around the time this video comes. You guys know I've been working with Standard Bank, and so has Wendy. So of course, we had to corroborate. You know, we had to pull up on each other and just do like a little cross, what. And I couldn't get the idea out, and I was kept blaming writer's block. But really, I was just like being in lazy little shit and not actually sitting down and thinking about it. I kept postponing. I was busy. I was out drinking. Yeah, I didn't sit down and think about what I wanted to do. So last night before I went to bed, I was just like, okay, let me calm down. I know this idea is gonna come. What do I want to do? And then when I woke up this morning and I spent like a couple of hours in bed, I was like, cool. Then it came to me, and I was very, very comfortable. Even though we had like 5 other ideas with Menzi of this, the one thing we wanted to shoot, but we know when it's the one that we're going to shoot. Because as soon as I explained it to Menzi when he got here, he said that's what we're doing. As soon as Wendy got here to explain it to her, said that's what we're doing. Wendy told us our idea, and it's like it happens to you the same way. You know when it's the right idea, and you know yourself because you have to apply yourself. So you have to sit down and plan very, very carefully, and be careful not to blame lack of inspiration, whatever, for a long time, because that thing can lag forever.
Yeah.
There was something I was watching about, and I'm about to hit you guys with some knowledge now. It's Moochie knowledge time.
Yeah.
It's Moochie knowledge time. I'm having a little banner. Bam, bam.
It's Moochie knowledge time. It's Moochie knowledge time. It's Moochie knowledge time. Moochie knowledge time. Moochie knowledge time. Moochie knowledge time.
All right, today on Moochie knowledge time. So, and it was talking about professionals versus amateurs, or the fear of starting something. That if you're going to wait for fear to subside for you to do something, the fear never goes away. You're never going to do it. Whatever it is that you want to do, understand that the fear stays with you for the rest of your life. You're always going to be scared before you do something. No matter who it is, no matter how professional they see you. You can ask Beyonce before she gets on stage, she'll tell you it's nerve-wracking. But she knows she knows she does the damn thing.
Beyonce.
She knows who the fuck she is. So she knows as soon as that music goes, she goes boom, bang.
Ayo.
Come on.
Ayo.
Bang.
Starting to believe that I'm way too much for you.
Who runs the world?
Girl.
Beyonce. I want
And the rest of us.
featuring other girls.
And the others.
Beyonce
And friends.
featuring Abo Tabise, Abo Wendy, now when you corner was in the back there. Beyonce.
I hate you.
So there's that element to it. So you have to actually apply yourself when you're doing the work, because creatives love saying that we're lacking inspiration, we're down in the dumps.
I need to.
You know, I need to go eat, pray, love,
I need
and
to
fucking
sit in my
Lusikisiki so I can find myself. Don't go to Lusikisiki, my brother. Deal with your demons.
go to your lounge.
Go to your lunch,
Sit down.
think for a second.
Exactly.
Apply yourself. You have to make that time, and you have to be comfortable when you're trying to be creative and making that time for it.
Yeah.
This is what we're in.
My next question is, who do you stan? Apart from it literally says, apart from the Black Wendy, who else do you stan?
Okay. Apart from the Black Wendy.
Okay, it actually just says, who do you stan?
Well, the Black Wendy is here. I do though. I stand your work, and I think you're absolutely brilliant.
Thank you.
You guys know I work with Menzi Mzimela, who I think is one of the best creatives in this country. And you one day, if you don't know, one day you'll know. Shout out to Menzi, aka the Anarcadium. I stand OK Wasabi. This is here is an OK Wasabi stand channel. In this house, we love OK Wasabi. Okay, I think it's absolutely hilarious. But just to, I could go on with creators or people that I stand. I stand the laser pop culture. Shout out to them. Like for real, you know.
Nobisa Tembi Bongeka.
Who else? Who else I'm standing? But
You're naming everyone I stand, so at this point, I'm just gonna.
But in terms of like other high-end industry people, in terms of the level of people I just mentioned, we're all trying to get at. Is Dave Chappelle is like my guy, and I love Trevor Noah as well and everything that he's done. Mad respect for Trevor, but like Will Ferrell is my guy. To understand me is to understand Will Ferrell, and that's just.
Will Ferrell's a genius.
I just don't know anybody funnier.
Yeah.
He just, to me, that's weird. He's like a comedic genius. It's just, it's in the timing. It's the small things.
What's the best thing? Like, what's your favorite Will Ferrell like show, movie, or?
Oh, Anchorman, not Anchorman. Sorry, Step Brothers. Step Brothers
Oh
is
my
my
gosh.
favorite comedy.
That's one of the funniest movies ever.
Right?
Ever.
Thank you.
Ever made.
Right. And if you have a problem with that, skirt, pull up.
Leave.
Yeah, or dip. You don't even have to deal with your with your negativity. Yeah, and there's a lot more. Like even locally, I can go on. Like I'm actually like a very big David Cow fan. Guys, I don't know what it is about David Cow. Let me tell you what I like about David Cow. Literally his face. I look at David Cow's face and I just die laughing. I remember Pure Monati days. I remember every joke. He had this face where he used to make, and it's very hard to describe. Where you know he's laughing, but he's not laughing. You know, it's a very hard face to do because usually you would cut. When you're like, okay, you've got a smirk on your face and you're making it a little too obvious. You know, like when you watch the old black comedies. You know, we used to like the Jamie Foxx show, remember? And you know, sometimes they'd be
And you
laughing
can tell that they...
when they do that thing. There was something about the way that they did it where they're like, it's obvious. Sometimes they would break and they would still keep that thing.
Yes.
You'd see them walking out off camera like laughing. David Guy had that thing where he never used to break, but he used to keep it right there, you know? And I used to call it 50%. He used to keep it at 50%.
Oh.
I call it 50%. He used to keep it right there 50% where it's like, he's not underacting
Break, but he's not gonna
or
break.
over. He's just there in the middle where it's not corny. And it's just perfect. So I think David Gower has great comedic timing and just
David Gower is amazing.
Local guy that I mean, and he's obviously done absolutely amazing for himself. So
And Coconut Kells as well.
Oh, yeah,
They're
Kells.
amazing. Also Donovan Goliath
yes,
is hilarious. And Tats Nkonzo, I think it's
yeah. I mean, naming all the people that I love, all the people that I've worked with.
oh my
Absolutely
god,
amazing.
amazing.
Worked with Donovan, worked with Tats. Professionals and really, really dope.
Drink your thing.
I'm glad there's hot food here before people start saying I'm more tested.
Yo, Nkosiam.
Oh, Safari Corona.
Hey, Carl,
How have you been handling lockdown?
the thing with me is, and I was actually talking to a friend about this. Level 5 was when it was so weird. I think it was the first time since moving to Joburg that I actually that it actually sunk in. I'm in a different city, I'm in a different space. Because as soon as I moved to Joburg, I went to work. I moved the last day of September. 1st of October, I'm at work. Like I'm adjusting to being like a TV writer. I'm adjusting to this whole thing. I never actually like came up for air. So the first few weeks of lockdown, that's when I was like, oh my word, like
Now you can
this
breathe.
is a completely different context. Like I live in Joburg, I live in this space, this apartment that I'm trying to furnish and like build a home in and whatever. So the first few weeks were okay for me because I was focused on that. Like my mind had this like focus of we're building a new context for ourselves. Obviously it was scary because Corona is scary, but I was like, this is an opportunity for me to like actually establish a life here. After that, I was like,
Establishment. I say
the
establishment.
couch is here now. I'm gonna need this to, yeah. So I don't know, it's been weird, and especially since I'm on set every day, like almost every day. I go to work, so things aren't that different on these levels. Like level 4, level 3, like I went back to set. Things were like it felt normal. Obviously there were restrictions in terms of movements, and set was different because like you sanitize before you enter, like all those protocols were in place, but I was still actually going to work. Like I wasn't at home, so I didn't really feel the brunt of it after level 5. Level 5 was different, but I don't know, like I'm not on lockdown, like I'm working, like I'm.
Look, as it stands, Cyril has opened the country pretty much. So I'm just really, really glad, to be quite honest.
How was it for you?
But it's very important that you guys, well, I've shared half the story. If you're new here,
Oh yes.
you won't know, but you can just go back and watch my little.
No one is having fun. That's how the video starts.
Yeah, and no
No one
boy,
is having a good time.
Boy, oh boy, I was having the least fun you could ever imagine. Lockdown had knocked me down, and it had drained me of my inspiration. The worst part about it is that I just felt so gutted because right at the beginning of lockdown was like the peak of my plans, and I had all these things set out that were literally about to happen, literally from April as we're going in. Those things that I was excited about, but already we started by February, we started getting a little bit of tingling of the other worlds around us are shutting down. The UK, America, and half of the things I was supposed to do actually were in America. So that's the first thing that got cancelled before. You know what I mean?
Oh my word.
So I was supposed to go shoot some stuff with the good people from this thing, and it was
Oh my
there was
word.
a whole thing, and there was basketball involved. It was just gonna be so much fun. It was like such a dope plan. There was that. There was I was supposed to go to Japan in May. My own personal trip, you know, my eat, pray, love shit.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
arigato muchi. You know,
Subscribe.
just subscribe. And then now this month of August was actually supposed to take a birthday trip. Me and 6 of my friends were all going down to Brazil. So we like, it's just like one hit after another. But so those are the personal things because everybody reads it in the personal context, how it affected me personally. But there's just so much more happening in the world that at some point I have to be like, okay, I think I'm being an ungrateful little shit here.
Yeah.
People are literally dying. Even I lost some people close to me that I knew.
Same.
It was like, okay, there's a real pandemic out here. That missing out on something or having to postpone something for a later time in your
It's
life,
not the worst.
or even by a year, is literally the bare minimum versus just literally staying alive. So although Cyril has opened the country, it's so important for people to still like you gotta stay safe,
Stay
guys.
home, guys.
I wouldn't frequent public places as much as you probably wanted to. Ongina one, whether you've caught it or not, because you don't know if you're gonna be one of those people that catches it and you don't have the symptoms, you just, you know, or if you have mild symptoms, just like the flu, it's in and then 10 days later it's out. You might fall unfortunately into one of the people who has it more severely, even affecting or taking your life. So it's really not a joke. And I think by now most of us agree it's not a joke, even though we're tired of lockdown. Remember that, what do they say?
Being alive is better, actually.
The pandemic isn't over just because you're over it. One more time. The pandemic isn't over just because you're over it. One more time, because it's just 1, 2. The pandemic isn't over just because you're over it. Hey, we're trying to Whitney Houston date. Cut.
The link to our Spotify and our Apple Music is
The album
in
is dropping.
the description below.
It's dropping soon. It's called S&W. S&W. That's the name.
Guys, please support local.
Please.
Please support black businesses.
Produced by, of course, my Borisa.
I get then it doesn't go like that.
Huh?
Then it doesn't go
No,
like
it's not like that. The pandemic isn't over just because you're over it. Over it. Over it. Ding dong. Over it. Ding dong. Ding dong. Come on, Bella. And that's why you must support local.
Yeah.
Should we answer one more question each?
Yeah,
Okay.
you go.
Oh, and they're probably wondering why is what we're drinking, and it's definitely not alcohol.
Unfortunately, guys, we are doing all of this sober.
Some non-alcoholic sparkling wine, super sober. And then they ask again the same person, when are we doing a collab with you guys? Both of us? They've collabed with me before.
Whenever you want. Oh, actually,
It was
they've
good.
contacted me for a collab.
Have they?
Yeah.
Must be nice to my friends.
I'll RSVP. By the time you watch this, I've probably already responded to that email.
Boom!
It's happening.
Oh, they're so formal. They sent you an email. Oh, but dude, they're super adorable. Literally.
I'm actually
cutest.
looking forward to it. It sounded so exciting.
They're really cool.
And obviously alcohol is involved.
And hey, now alcohol is back. You guys can have like a
Sorry.
proper little thing.
Yeah.
Whatever that thing is.
And Muchi got me a wine rack, so that's where that wine's going. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody says, many people think you can't live off content creation. Can you please explain how it works? Many people have lied.
Who is many people?
I'm sitting on a content creating couch. Behind me is a content creating painting.
Holding a content creating
Holding a
phone.
content creating phone in a content creating house.
Lalela. Who?
So
is
those
that?
people who told you that, Bandaman girl, it's just a matter of applying yourself and getting the work. It's not easy, but you really, if that's what you want to do, you just have to keep going. You have to keep learning about the industry, how it works. And like I said, I'm making an entire YouTube video again where I actually be speaking to you guys about social media management and YouTube and content creation with my manager, Busi. So we're gonna go in a little bit more depth, and she's actually gonna do like a masterclass for you guys on my channel.
good.
So look out for that. We're going to be speaking a little bit more in depth. But you
wow.
can definitely, I mean, you guys obviously know now you can make money off content creation. Gabby Boo's a content creator. She's written an entire book about it. Mitlali is a content creator. She's made an entire life of it. And you guys know that these people are making rack. Okay. That's content creation money. And many other of your faves that are deep into content creation that are making go for it. That are making an entire living out of it. So definitely 100%. You can definitely make a living from being a content creator.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of getting the work.
Yeah.
You can make a living of anything if the work comes to you and you have to work. I mean, you can be an actor that are sitting at home. It's like, is there money in acting? There's 100% money in acting. But if you're not getting booked for any acting gigs, then there's exactly zero money.
Yeah, and I think visibility as well. I'm just speaking from my own personal experience. Like, I did stuff for free before anyone ever approached me to do it for money. You know, like I've created content for 3 years now. Yeah. Going from like 73 views, and those 73 views are people from high school and your boss and your friends and whatever. And just building on that, because that's good for you. Like, putting yourself out there is good for you in a sense that you grow as you create, so that by the time Mercedes is like, yo, we need an ad, you've already developed like so many skills along the way and made so many mistakes and learned from them, and like developed a niche, like, oh, okay, actually this is the kind of content that works for me, and so I'm gonna, you know, position myself to be visible to people who want this kind of content to be made for them, you know what I mean? So yeah, like just keep building your portfolio so that by the time you get those brand partnerships and people want to work with you for money, you're ready.
That's right. And I've told you guys many times that you have to put in the work as well. So that's what like with everything else. You just have to keep going, but you have to keep learning as you go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't just sit there, but you can't stop, nor can you wait for anything.
Yeah.
Don't make excuses for yourself. Don't worry about that. As long as you've got something that you can record and create content with, keep going.
Do it.
They'll catch up later. You go from 73 people to 73,000 people.
Bruh.
Literally.
Bruh.
Right.
Bruh.
Skirt.
And that's all life.
While you're here at Muchi Matters again, share this video, leave a comment, speak to us in the comments there on social media. Let me know what else you want to see on the channel. I told you guys there's a few things on the way, but otherwise, yeah, that's been it. It's Muchi for the babies, and
it's the Black Wendy for herself.
Oh, but I'm literally right here. Okay. See you guys later.
Pew!